Here we go. Hi, today I'm with Joe the Swiss Tilley. You may recognize him from his many years at CTV in Scarborough, Toronto. I appreciate your time today, Joe. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Brian.
So we're going to talk a little bit about sports. How about that, eh? I think that's your specialty.
Right up my alley.
There you go. Okay. So, Joe, I want to ask you, first of all, how you think the pandemic, starting last year in March, affected the playoffs and all that stuff. First in the NHL, we'll talk about that, okay?
At the end of the day, the best team in the NHL won.
Yeah.
So really, ultimately, as far as the on ice result,
yeah,
probably wouldn't have changed.
Right.
I think the best team in the Western Conference was Colorado.
Okay.
They were upset by Dallas. They had some injury issues and everything else, but I think at the end of the day, Colorado and Tampa were the two best teams, and ultimately, I think Tampa, was the best team. Particularly when you throw in the injuries that Colorado received. So I think as far as the on ice result, I don't think it mattered.
So what do you think about the bubble situation in the West and East? How do you think that worked out?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the NHL did an amazing job.
Now, are they going to be doing that this year, do you think?
Yeah, they'll not. I don't know about a bubble.
Yeah.
But because there is a vaccine en route, I would think that maybe I don't know when it's going to be that the players get that vaccine, but it sounds to me like it's all about cross-border travel. That's a problem right now, and that will continue to be a problem. So that's why they've decided that they're going to have a Canadian division, and so when the NHL resumes play, there'll be a Canadian division and a couple of U.S. divisions.
Okay, so when is that going to start? Do you have any idea?
January 13th.
I think. Sorry?
January 13th. I've heard the latest I've heard is January 13th. Yeah.
Okay, and then the NBA, of course, the Raptors are down in Tampa this year.
Right.
Start anyway.
NBA, yeah, they start preseason games this weekend.
Yeah, great. So, and then, so how do you? They're not in a bubble either, right?
No.
So they're all
but because they're the only Canadian team, and there was not going to be any cross-border travel.
Right.
It made sense for them to find a home south of the border, and Tampa seems like a good spot. I don't think any players would argue that I have to go to Tampa for the winter.
Yeah, that's a shame, eh?
Damn.
And then this year, of course, we lost Ibaka. Were they going to pick up a new player, do you think?
They got a couple. They got the new center, Ayers, I think his name is. They got they got a couple new guys. Nothing significant.
Okay.
They're really, I think what they're really going to look forward to is maybe giving Chris Boucher a little more playing time.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's kind of what the plan is to allow him to, he's a pretty young guy. Canadian guy, so maybe he can grow into that spot a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the real plan is. The Australian guy, I think his name is Ayers. Anyway,
okay.
Excuse me right now, but.
And what do you think of our Leafs going forward here?
Well, sooner or later they're going to win a playoff series.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what when you look at it.
Yeah.
Like. They've been so close, right? They had the their first year with Austin Matthews, they make it to the playoffs, and they play the Capitals, and they take them 6 games, a couple overtime games, so they played really well. Next year they take the Bruins 7 games. Bruins were clearly a better team, but they took them 7 games. The next year again, Bruins had the home ice advantage, and Game 7 made a difference, but the Leafs had a chance to win that series in 6 at home, and they blew that opportunity. And then, of course, last year, Columbus, losing Game 5 was a pain in the butt and a real disappointment.
Yeah.
So that's why they went out and made some changes. So,
There you go. Well, I mean, good things, right? Fingers crossed all these years.
Yeah. Oh,
all these years.
Could be.
So I guess that was 2 when they won before. So I don't really remember that.
Yeah. No, I was old enough to remember that, actually.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about what you're doing now with your new podcast with
Yeah, I have a new show called Joe Tilley Sports, which
okay.
just started last week. The
Yep.
first guest we had was Ron Ellis,
Okay.
and Ronnie was amazing.
Yep.
Great, great Maple Leaf and
Yep.
a career Maple Leaf. Played his entire career here, and he talked about all playing for the Leafs, playing for that Leafs during that crazy period when Harold Ballard took over, playing for Team Canada. Excuse me, '72.
Yep.
And you can see that. You can see that interview if you like. It's on my YouTube page. Just go to Joe Tilley on YouTube, and you'll see it there.
Okay.
And then this week we've got plus I'm on Facebook as well, Joe Tilley on Facebook, and there's other places at Joe Swiss Tilley on Instagram and Twitter, and but the Joe Tilley Sports Joe Tilley Show, Joe Tilley Sports Show is live on Facebook every Thursday at 1:00. Tomorrow we've got a fellow named Wendell Clark. You may have heard of him.
Sounds familiar. You know what? When I graduated university was 93, and I wore his jersey under my gown.
Really?
Yeah. So when they called my name at the front, I pulled open my gown, and it was they were in the middle of the
Oh yeah,
St. Louis
great
series,
playoff.
I think. Yeah,
Great playoff run.
because
Yeah.
was May, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a fiery time. Wow. And then of course the first couple of years at the Air Canada Center, I was working there on the gate, so I got to experience that crazy stuff
Nice.
with Sundin and Steve Thomas and those guys. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Stumpy.
Okay, so Joe, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much. And also, I worked with Ron Ellis, sort of, at the Hockey Hall of Fame. So that was
Ron, great guy. Just a real,
super nice guy,
real
super
excellent
nice
guy. Yeah.
So people can look on YouTube for your channel and your interview with him and
sure
stuff. So you've given all that information.
A lot of the whole Ron story, Ron Ellis story. It talks about his depression, his battle with depression, and it talks about coming through that. And it's we had a great time. Yeah.
Okay.
Great conversation.
That's great. I appreciate your time again, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Maybe I'll see you around the Oshawa car wash one day again.
Yeah. All right, boss.
Okay, Joe, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye now.